On my own behalf, I convey our heartfelt condolences to the families and friends of the late Ngeno and the 5 individuals who also lost their lives alongside him. Honorable members, in order to accord a befitting send-off to our departed colleague and the 5 other victims, I have constituted an ad hoc committee of Parliament to plan the funeral and coordinate the arrangements. The committee comprises the following members: Honorable Julius Meli, CBS MP, Chairperson and Team Leader; Honorable Mugambi Rindikiri, CBS MP, Vice Chairperson; Honorable Julius Sunguli, GHMP; Honorable Oscar Sudi, MP; Honorable Brighton Yegon, CBS MP; Honorable Engineer Mark Nyamita, MP; Honorable Gadoni Wamshomba, HSC MP; Honorable Kitilai Olenduto, MP; Honorable Rebecca Tonke, MP; Honorable Kakai Bisau, MP; Honorable Joseph Cherorot, MP; Honorable Victor Koech, MP; and in consultation with the Speaker of the Senate, we have the following 3 senators in the committee: the Honorable Senator Wafula Wakoli, CBS MP; Senator Hilary Sigei, CBS MP; and Senator Eddie Okech, MP. Honorable members, to celebrate the life and legacy of the late Honorable Ngeno, a requiem service will be held tomorrow, Wednesday, 4th March 2026, at the African Gospel Church, AGC Karen, starting at, I thought it was 9 a.m. Has it been changed? Starting 9 a.m., not 11 as is written here. In fact, members, I encourage you, if you pass the motion that is coming, not to sit tomorrow. Those of us who want to be in that requiem mass, be seated at this church by 8:30, so that we are able to start the program by 9 to finish in time to come back for the afternoon sitting. Thereafter, after the service, bodies of the late Ngeno and the 5 other victims will be transported to Narok on Thursday, 5th March 2026 for a service at Emurua Dikiri Primary School, Narok County. This will be followed by the funeral service and interment at his rural home in Emurua Dikiri on Friday, 6th March 2026. Consequently, honorable members, this afternoon the House Business Committee has resolved to suspend business for the morning sitting of Wednesday, 4th March 2026 to allow members to attend the requiem service. You will indeed be aware by now that a supplementary order paper has been published to facilitate a motion to suspend the sitting for tomorrow morning. Finally, honorable members, permit me to record the thanks of the House to the County Government of Narok, the Cabinet Secretary for Interior and National Government, and to all those who went above and beyond the call of duty to facilitate airlifting of the bodies of the deceased from Nandi to Nairobi. I also thank honorable members who have visited and continue to condole and fellowship with the family and friends of the late Honorable Ngeno. Honorable members, this morning I visited the home with a team of about 25 members to condole with the family, and it does happen that the father-in-law of the Honorable Ngeno is one of our former colleagues, the Honorable Stephen Olendutu, who served with me in this House and in the first Senate after the 2010 Constitution, and is also a brother to one of our colleagues, Sekilai Olendutu. Honorable members, in honor of our departed colleague, the Honorable Jonathan Ngeno Kipyegon, CBS MP, and those who perished alongside him, I request that we all be upstanding and observe a moment of silence. May their souls rest in eternal peace. Amen. I thank you. Go back to order number 8.
Order number 8, procedural motion. Resolution not to hold a Wednesday morning sitting.
Majority Leader.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to move that pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 30, and in honor of the late member for Emurua Dikir constituency, the Honorable Johanna Ngeno, CBS MP, and the other 5 distinguished Kenyans who lost their lives alongside him through a tragic helicopter accident on Saturday, 28 February 2026. This House resolves that 1, not to hold a morning sitting on Wednesday, 4th March 2026, so as to accord the House the opportunity to attend the Requiem service for the departed distinguished Kenyans, and 2, to resume sittings on the afternoon of Wednesday, 4th March 2026. Honorable Speaker, this is just a procedural motion as you have just communicated in your communication to allow members to attend the Requiem service tomorrow at AGC Karen, as you have communicated, Honorable Speaker, in your communication, beginning 9, or rather we are all expected to be seated at the service in church at 8:30 so that the service can begin at 9. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, it will not be possible for us to be able to split ourselves, some to be at the service and others to be sitting here. And the House Business Committee resolved that we have this procedural motion not to have a sitting in the morning and to resume at 2:30 after the Requiem service, so that we may have time to pray with the family and also to eulogize our departed colleague and the other 5 passengers of that ill-fated chopper. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move. And as I move, Honorable Speaker, just in the interest of time, because I am almost certain you will allow the House some time to send our condolences. Allow me to use this opportunity to convey my very deep condolences to the family of Johanna Ngeno, the wife, the children, and his entire family in Emurua Dikir, and also the family, as you indicated.
Are you signing away your right to speak after this motion?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I thought I could do that now.
Yes.
Honorable Speaker, I was saying, as you have also indicated, our colleague Ntutu, Kitilai, and the entire Ntutu family, who are in-laws to Honorable Ngeno, to convey on my own behalf, on behalf of my family and the people of Kikuyu, and indeed the entire House, Honorable Speaker, our very deep condolences to Honorable Ngeno's family and the families of the other departed passengers who are with him, including Captain Were. Honorable Speaker, Captain Were is someone I knew very well, and I've flown with him. And Honorable Speaker, even yourself, you remember, only a week ago, the other weekend, I was somewhere with you, and you flew back, you flew from where we were to Western Kenya with Captain Were. And Captain Were was a very experienced captain, someone who served in armed forces, left the armed forces and get into civilian aviation, and has done very well in his career, and was a very careful and dedicated officer in his service as a captain. Honorable Speaker, one of the other gentlemen, the teacher Carlos, who is fondly referred to as Mwalimu Carlos, his name is Keter. I knew Mwalimu Carlos in 2016, 2017. Honorable Speaker, I was together with the Senate Leader of Majority in the 2017 campaigns. We were designated by the then president to go and campaign in Narok County. And I spent a lot of time in Emurua Dikir. And Carlos is a gentleman because he was the campaign manager for the man who was running against Johanna Ngeno, who was organizing all our rallies in Emurua Dikir, wherever we went there. And we put up a spirited campaign, but Johanna Ngeno put a very strong defense. And even with the Jubilee wave in 2017, Johanna Ngeno on a Kanu ticket trounced us, and we lost that election. And I'm saying this, Honorable Speaker, because Carlos was the one who was running the campaign of the other Keter who was running against Johanna in 2017. And as fate would have it, years later, Carlos made up with Johanna, and that speaks to the person that Johanna Ngeno was. He held no grudges against anybody. They made up, and in fact, Honorable Speaker, I dare say that Carlos was recently recruited by TSC, and the Member of Parliament for Emurua Dikir, Honorable Johanna Ngeno, had a big hand in helping him to get recruited by TSC as a teacher. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, I am speaking of people I know in person, the Honorable Ngeno, Captain Were, Mwalimu Carlos, Keter, fine gentlemen whom we have lost. And it's indeed very sad for all the families. And I convey my condolences to all of them, all the 6 families who have lost loved ones. Honorable Speaker, Johanna Ngeno, as I said, we campaigned against him in 2017. And I remember, and I was sharing with his, at his home yesterday, when he came back to this house in 2017, after the 2017 elections, we were friends before, because we joined this house together in 2013, and we continued with our friendship. And I remember challenging him and telling him, the only reason why I campaigned against you were 2 reasons. 1, because you are still single. 2, and you have the energy to fight. 2, because you are on another party against Jubilee.
Order. The member, is it from Isiolo? Walk to the bar and do what is necessary. Even in the middle of excitement, don't violate house rules.
Honorable Speaker, you must forgive Honorable Momina. She crossed the floor in excitement. You know, she just delivered a seat to UDA in Isiolo South, together with the other members for Isiolo. So she's very excited. Honorable Speaker, I was saying, Honorable Ngeno, as I said of him, never held grudges against anybody. And I remember when we came back after the 2017 elections, we, together with a few colleagues, including my good friend here, Honorable Nelson Koech, we told Honorable Ngeno, you have completed 1 term of parliament as a bachelor. You cannot continue being a bachelor. And he told us, watch this space. And I'm glad that within the last parliament, the Honorable Ngeno found a good wife and married the love of his life. Is a widow now, Naina Ntutu, and Honorable Nelson Ngeno, Nelson Koech, whom we had challenged Ngeno with, was the best man in that wedding. It's sad, Honorable Speaker, that now the widow and the children are left without a father and a husband, and the people of Emurua Dikir have been left without a very dedicated leader, a person who would go to any length to fight for his people, defend their rights, and more importantly, to make sure that he delivers for them as a member of parliament in terms of development. And Honorable Ngeno has done exemplary well. For those who had been to Emurua Dikir when it was the larger Kilgoris, and the member for Kilgoris will bear me witness. Before that constituency was split between Kilgoris and Emurua Dikir. It was a very large constituency, and therefore previous members of parliament had a difficulty trying to develop the entire constituency as it were. But Honorable Ngeno has done exemplary well as a member of parliament in his 3 terms as parliament. And I say that because I was in Emurua Dikir late last year at the invitation of Ngeno for his bursary award program, and as he handed over a number of school buses to schools. And the people of Emurua Dikir were very proud of the performance of their member of parliament and the strong defender of their rights that he was. This House, Honorable Speaker, the people of Emuru Adekir, his family, and indeed the entire country is poorer without Honorable Ngeno in our midst, and we will celebrate his life as we mourn him. And I want to pray, Honorable Speaker, that as we mourn Honorable Ngeno, Ngeno was a peacemaker. And Ngeno had never in any way entertained ethnicity. And I remember, Honorable Speaker, and you'll see even in his clips, I was watching a number of his clips, and everywhere he spoke against ethnicity. And he was a unifying leader. I pray, Honorable Speaker, that as we mourn him and as we lay him to rest towards the end of this week, we will emulate Honorable Ngeno in his standing as a leader, in his unifying character, and more importantly, Honorable Speaker, that we all remember the families, not just of Honorable Ngeno, that of Were, Carlos, and the other departed compatriots and countrymen who lost their lives on Saturday evening, Honorable Speaker. And in conclusion, Honorable Speaker, let us also mourn and celebrate their lives, bearing in mind that they have families that are hurting. And I say this, Speaker, because I know I just lost a relative a year ago, last year, some months ago. I know what it feels, and many of you know, those of you who have lost relatives. It is unfair and rather callous for any one of us who purports to be a leader to be using the death of any Kenyan for political gain. And I say this, Honorable Speaker, because I saw the pain of the family, of the widow, of Ngeno's relatives, and those of Carlos and others, having to learn of his passing on from a careless statement by a leader at a political rally in Nyahururu. Honorable Speaker, it's not just shameful, it's so callous of any leader, even before the immediate family gets to know of the loss of a loved one. You are there in a political rally announcing their death. It's shameful, Honorable Speaker. And how I wish, and I described people here, Honorable Speaker, 2 years ago, saying there was a dark man with a very black heart. I am vindicated, Honorable Speaker. I am vindicated. This is a dark man with a very black and dark heart and soul. Somebody who has no feeling, no respect for family, no respect for anybody. Somebody who scavenged on anything, including death, to try and drive or get some political capital. Shame on you. That you should use the departure of one of us to do your cheap ethnic-based politics, or even imagine that you can incite one sub-tribe against another or one community against another. Honorable Speaker, I say that because it was really hurting. Honorable Speaker, you were at Ngeno's house this morning. You saw how distraught that family is. It's sad that somebody who purports to be a leader, and I don't know of what because he leads nothing, can use such an opportunity to be seen like you are celebrating the passing on of another human being. That is what a man with a black heart does. That is what those with dark souls do. And I'll say shame unto them as we mourn our colleague and the 5 other Kenyans who lost their lives, including our friend Captain Were, who I have said, Honorable Speaker, was a very dedicated captain, very careful, and let us not speculate on the cause of the death or the accident. Let us allow the air traffic accident investigators to do their work. But also, let us also exercise caution wherever we are moving on the roads, the air, and be aware of our surroundings, including the weather patterns, especially around this rainy season. Honorable Speaker, allow me to end it there, and I beg to move. And may the souls of our departed colleague and the 5 other passengers rest in eternal peace. And may God Almighty give comfort to their families and rest their souls in eternal peace for those who have left us. I beg to move and request the Honorable Osoro to second.
Osoro.
And he may also use his time like mine.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Much less time, 3 minutes.
I will try, Honorable Speaker. I want to sign off my rights also to speak after this motion is passed, and use this opportunity, Honorable Speaker, to also condole with the families of the departed souls of our great Kenyans, from our colleague, the Honorable Johanna Ngeno, and the 5 that were with him. Honorable Speaker, the 6 that left us, and like we say, went to be with the Lord, at least out of the 6, 3 are known to me personally. And one, I would start, Honorable Speaker, with the young man who is a cameraman by the name Nick. In several occasions, Honorable Speaker, we've shared platforms with the Honorable Johanna Ngeno, and at times when I don't tag along with my cameraman, we use Nick to take us photos across, of course, and share with us, Honorable Speaker. And on that particular day, the Honorable Johanna Ngeno had actually asked my cameraman to accompany him to an event, but it happened that my cameraman was in Kisii, and he had to maneuver away to carry his. So the young man is well known to me, and it's very, very sad. I say that his soul rests in peace. Honorable Speaker, I'm also known, the late George Were is also well known to me. He's flown me on several occasions. In fact, in the very last event that we shared with the Honorable Johanna Ngeno, Honorable Speaker, I flew with the Honorable Meli from my constituency, because Emurua Dikri, Honorable Speaker, is just one constituency away from mine. It is South Mogrango, then Kilgoris, where the Honorable Sunkuli comes from, and then Emurua Dikri, Honorable Speaker. And so we are too close. When you fly from my constituency to his place, it's just about 6 minutes flight to get to his place. Honorable Speaker, George has flown several of us, and it's quite sad that at the tail end of his career, even as he sought to retire completely, he passed on in that cruel manner. May his soul rest in peace. But finally, Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Johanna Ngeno. Many things will be said about Johanna Ngeno, like you would hear several members say. But there is one thing, Honorable Speaker, that stands out about Johanna Ngeno, is courage and his stand for social justice. Honorable Speaker, you've heard a story that the Honorable Nelson Koech was his best man in his wedding in 2018. But I would say, Honorable Speaker, that when we go to this house, and in the discussion about the leadership of this house, when we had a discussion in Naivasha about the leadership of this house, it happened that Nelson Koech was meant to sit on this seat that I'm sitting, Honorable Speaker. And there was a discussion on mamas across, within the sectors of the political spectrum, Honorable Speaker, in Naivasha. But the Honorable Johanna Ngeno, Honorable Speaker, even having known that Nelson Koech was his best man, came to me and told me, I stand for social justice, and I want you to take over this seat and not Nelson Koech, Honorable Speaker. And that is why today I'm here. We would eventually become very close friends, and myself, the Honorable Owen Bayer, the Honorable Johanna Ngeno formed a group together of couples that we could visit each other often, Honorable Speaker. And it's quite sad today that we mourn a great man that has been fighting for social justice across, and he's died, he's gone, Honorable Speaker, at the point of his, passion, where he stood for the young people who are, using their talent to do several things and to, for social capital. For economical value, using their talent. He's been traversing across the Rift Valley, Honorable Speaker, and even Gusii region, Honorable Speaker, supporting artists. We have lost a great man, and looking at the mood of this House, Honorable Speaker, it goes without saying that the Honorable Ngeno really invested in social capital. That is why you see several members really pained and touched by his demise. Honorable Speaker, on behalf of the people of South Mogrango, on behalf of my family, on behalf of this House and the entire country, I want to convey my deepest condolences and say, may the Honorable Ngeno's soul rest in eternal peace, and I beg to second, Honorable Speaker. Thank you very much.
Honorable members, I now propose the question at order number 8, which is that, pursuant the provisions of Standing Order 30 and in honor of the late member for Emurua Digiri constituency, the Honorable Johanna Ngeno, CBS MP, and the 5 distinguished Kenyans who died alongside him through a tragic helicopter accident on Saturday, 28 February 2026, this House resolves, 1, not to hold a morning sitting on Wednesday, 4th March 2026, so as to accord the House the opportunity to attend the requiem service for the departed distinguished Kenyans, and 2, to resume sittings on the afternoon of Wednesday, 4th March 2026. We put the question? Honorable members, I now put the question, which is that pursuant the provisions of Standing Order 30, and in honor of the late member for Emurua Digiri constituency, the Honorable Johanna Ngeno, CBS MP, and the 5 distinguished Kenyans who died alongside him through a tragic helicopter accident on Saturday, 28 February 2026, this House resolves, 1, not to hold a morning sitting on Wednesday, 4th March 2026, so as to accord the House the opportunity to attend the requiem service for the departed distinguished Kenyans, and 2, to resume sittings on the afternoon of Wednesday, 4th March 2026. As members of that opinion say aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable members will then allow you to eulogize the late Ngeno and his colleagues who perished with him. The House Business Committee had indicated that we give you 2 minutes each, if no 3, because I want to assign this to 1 hour and 5 minutes ending at 4:30. Bukose, 2 minutes.
Honorable Speaker, I stand to send my condolences to the people of Emurua Tigir, having been with the Honorable Johanna Ngeno in Endebess just before the tragic accident. Honorable Speaker, it is still a very sad memory to me that the Honorable member came to my place, and I've been accompanying him in this journey of supporting talents, especially in the North Rift region, Mount Elgon, and all the way to Uganda. Whenever he comes, normally we plan on him not going back. I even get a court to slaughter, and then he can at least spend around. But this time, things took the worst of the turn as it happened. I have no words to say, Honorable Speaker, but what I would only say is that Honorable Ngeno was a great man. He supported people without discrimination. He supported very low people, especially our artists. And he gave his, and even in his life, I think he gave it to these artists as he came to support Kim, who is my constituent, where we were able to raise some money to support him. And really, still a very sad day. I'm still in shock for what happened, having been a very close person to me. May his soul rest in eternal peace until we meet again. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Robert Mbui.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On my own behalf and on behalf of my family and constituents of Kathiani, I also rise to give my condolences to the family, friends, constituents of Emurua Dikir of the late Johanna Ngeno. Mr. Speaker, Johanna Ngeno was a fine gentleman, and I was privileged to have served with him for 3 consecutive terms in this parliament. Very politician, very strong defender of the people, and many times we've seen him even confronting the police when they seemed to be harassing and hurting the people that he represents. So this country has lost a great leader, Mr. Speaker, and it is quite a sad moment. I just want to urge that as this very painful time passes, that those that are involved in making sure that they investigate these accidents do it in a quick manner so that we can allay any fears or any possibility of mischief. Mr. Speaker, I agree with the majority leader when he was moving the previous motion, when he said that we have to be very careful not to politicize such issues. But Mr. Speaker, it was also shocking to listen to the majority leader himself, because he spent a lot of time demonizing the second deputy president. He spent almost all his time calling him a black man, a man with a black hat. I mean, that also was also politicizing these situations. I think it is, you know, what is good for the goose is good for the gander, and he has to be careful that he also doesn't use the privilege of the House to malign other people's names. Otherwise, with those few remarks, may the soul of Joanna Ngeno rest in eternal peace.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me an opportunity to eulogize our chairman and our colleague. Honorable Speaker, on behalf of the great people of Laikipia County and on behalf of my family, I stand to give my condolences to the families of the 6 departed souls. And Honorable Speaker, I would say of the 6 people, the 3 were known to me. One is Honorable Ngeno, who was my chairperson of Housing Committee, a great man who always brought us together. Honorable Speaker, it's interesting that last week after our committee meeting, for the first time in the 3 years we've been together, we decided to sit together in Honorable Kimilu's office and plan about our committee, and we shared a good laugh. Little did we know that that was going to be our last meeting together with our chairperson. Honorable Speaker, the week before, Captain Were came to Laikipia, and he had a chat with my son, where my son told him he wants to become a pilot, and he told him he has to always finish his homework. Honorable Speaker, it is with a lot of grief that we mourn our chairperson, Honorable Ngeno, and we say may his soul rest in eternal peace, and may the souls of the other 5 departed Kenyans also rest in peace. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Sunguli.
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of myself and the people of Kilgoris constituency, I wish to eulogize Johanna Ngeno, the MP for Murwadikir, who has just left us. Johanna was my constituent for a long time when I was a member of parliament. That constituency that is called Murwadikir was part of Kilgoris. And we have lived together in politics. He was at some point my competitor. At some other point, we were together. But one thing I can tell you, Mr. Speaker, is that he was a man of courage and was a man who stood by his word. Johanna has left a big mark in his constituency, because the identity of Murwadigir is actually the identity of Johanna Ngeno. He is the one who was one of the first, he was actually the first member of parliament for that area. And he has put his foot and imprint in that constituency. I would like to say, Mr. Speaker, that this week we are going to bury a great friend of mine. We were competitors often, but we always competed in dignity, we always competed well and retained our friendship. Of late, we had even more common grounds because he defended the things I defended and was angry when I was angry. On Friday, we are going to bury him, and I want to urge members of parliament to come in big numbers. The place is quite accessible, and you could all come to Kilgoris and then go to Murwadikir. But may his soul rest in eternal peace.
Hillary.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Let me join the House on behalf of the people of Kenyan West constituency to send my condolences on the fall of this great man, Mr. Speaker. I first knew Johanna Ngeno way before 2007, when as young men we were mentored together into politics under the mentorship of the late Kipkalia Kones. And I know, Mr. Speaker, there is a dark cloud of sorrow and mourning among the Kipsigis community, Mr. Speaker, because this is not the only plane crash that has taken their sons. The Honorable Kipkalia Kones and the Honorable Lona Laboso also lost their lives in a plane crash, Mr. Speaker. And we want to urge the people of Emurua Dikir to be patient, to be calm, and to mourn their departed leader in peace, Mr. Speaker. Johanna Ngeno, Mr. Speaker, cannot be described in 2 minutes. He was a passionate believer and a defender of the people of Emurua Dikir, the people of the Kipsigis community, the Kalenjin nation, and the people of Kenya at large, Mr. Speaker. His passing on leaves a very big void in our leadership. And I want to urge our community to be calm and to assure them that we shall rise again out of the ashes of the death of the Honorable Johanna Ngeno. And finally, Mr. Speaker, is to ask and request the government to implement all the projects that were under the vision of the Honorable Johanna Ngeno in this term with speed, so that the people of Emurua Dikir, Mr. Speaker, can enjoy development that their MP intended them to have during this term, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I beg to support.
Thank you. Commissioner Makau.
Thank you, Mr. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On my behalf, my family, the people of Mavoko, I also stand to pass my condolences to the late Honorable John Ngeno. John Ngeno was a gentleman. He's a man who has invited me to his many functions. The last one was the cultural, which I really liked, and I saw how he was connecting to people. That is a man who was loved. In fact, everybody was shouting, Kingpin, Kingpin, Kingpin. That shows he was crossing across the borders. No wonder even he faced his death when he was at Entebbe, which is not even his constituency, showing that he was a leader all over Kenya. Mr. Speaker, today as we mourn the 5 other passengers who died along him, Mr. Speaker, I think it's upon this House we look under Civil Aviation Act number 21 of 2013. Mr. Speaker, all of us are consumers of chopper services. And we have seen most of these pilots they are not even controlled when they are happier. It is the pilot who decides how the weather is. I think we need to relook in that regulation, and we put serious regulations on how pilots of choppers are supposed to be regulated. Because as it is not good. I know this was an accident, but as a House charged with making laws, we need to relook and amend that Civil Aviation Act number 21 of 2013 so that we have those pilots controlled, so that in such cases of this bad weather, Mr. Speaker, they can be controlled. Finally, Jonah Ngeno was the only man from KKK who favored me with many projects, unlike his best man. Thank you.
Murugara.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, allow me also to join the House in mourning and condoling with the family of the late Johanna Ngeno, the great people of Emurua Dikir and the Kipsigis community in its entirety. We will remember Johanna as one of the most astute legislators we had here, and especially the positions he took. When he said no, it was no, and when he said yes, it was yes. His contributions right to the Housing Committee and also to Liaison Committee were totally invaluable, and we will miss this as a House. May I extend these condolences and pole from the great people of the Raka constituency, where he was actually a great friend of the people. While they are listening to me, it's good to remind them that on the 25th of July, 2025, Johanna Ngeno came to the Raka constituency. And that was not a mean feat, because not many people actually visit that constituency. And I commend you, sir. The Speaker has visited not once, not twice, more than thrice. Johanna Ngeno came with a team led by the Leader of Majority and the Chief Whip. We were doing an empowerment for border borders, our young people who are riders. And he actually did many jigs with the local community, as a result of which we were able to raise 8 billion shillings for that group. Sincerely, this is a true friend of Kenya, a true friend of the Raka, and therefore, the only thing we can say this afternoon is, may his soul rest in everlasting peace. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, let me join colleagues in mourning our late brother, and on my own behalf, and the behalf of my family and the good people of Kitui Central, send my deepest condolences to the family. Honorable Speaker, we joined this house together with the same day with Honorable Ngeno, and if I were asked to go for somebody who champions the interest of his people, I will go for Honorable Ngeno. If I was asked to go for somebody who, over time, has been very principled and who always stand by his principles, I would go for Honorable Ngeno. May God's grace be sufficient for his family and the people of Emurua Dikir. Let our colleague rest in eternal peace. Amen.
Chairman of the committee, Meli.
Thank you.
If you can take time like Makali Mulu,
Yes.
you don't exhaust your 2 minutes, we'll have many more people to speak.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to mourn and condole Honorable Ngeno and the departed members who are in the ill-fated craft. Honorable Speaker, I also want to thank you that you honored and considered me to chair this committee with other 10 members, because Honorable Ngeno was more than a brother to me, a friend, a leader. We joined this house together in 2013. And Honorable Speaker, I want to say that Ngeno was a great inspiration to many of us when we came to the house. He would tell us how he went through the elections of 2007, how he was competing in the then larger Kilgoris constituency before he came to Emurua Dikir. Honorable Ngeno was a man of the people. He actually took it upon himself to change the lives of the people of Emurua Dikir. In fact, he built many, many schools. When he inherited the constituency, when the constituency was carved out, it had very few schools. It had no roads. It had very few hospitals. Ngeno went out of his way, Honorable Speaker, to change the lives of his community and establish a lot of infrastructure networks, improved education. He touched lives. And more importantly, within this house, he actually mentored a number of members and even gave an inspiration to many to serve in the house. I want to say pole to the family, pole to the nation, and to all of us. Asante sana.
Wamshomba.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I join my colleagues in eulogizing my colleague, the Honorable Johanna Ngeno. I had the privilege of serving with him in the previous parliament. And Mr. Speaker, my encounter with him for the first time, I was not able to pronounce the name of his constituency because, Mr. Speaker, I come from a region where an R and an L is a challenge. So I was not able to pronounce his name properly, the name of the constituency. And Mr. Speaker, he used to make fun out of it. And he used to tell me to take a pen and a paper, and then he would ask me to pronounce the name slowly by slowly. And the same patience and accommodation he had about my shortcoming is the same one he has had in his constituency as he embraced the talents, the musicians, the talented young people, and promoted them to the extent that he did. So I mourn a member of parliament who was passionate, who believed in the justice of the people, a man who was brave, and a man who loved his family. Rest in peace, my brother.
Bissau.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I also join the colleagues in mourning Honorable Ngeno. Honorable Ngeno was my chairman, and last Tuesday, Mr. Speaker, sir, as a committee, we had a very good moment with Honorable Ngeno, It was one of the most exciting moments. But as fate will always come, actually we never knew that we were seeing Honorable Ngeno for the last time, or that was our last Tuesday. We had a very good moment with all of us as a committee. I remember moving together and with Honorable Ndikiri and the rest. It was a very trying moment, Mr. Speaker, sir. On the 26th, which is last Thursday, we met with Honorable Ngeno and he was adjusting his tie. And I told him, my chairman, let me be your mirror. And he adjusted the tie and he reminded me of joining him in Endebess. But since that particular Saturday, we had other engagements with members from Trans Nzoia, I was not able to. But the surprising thing, that particular Saturday, when leaving the function, going to another funeral, the same chopper, the ill-fated chopper, we could see it overfly where I was. I will miss my chairman with the many opportunities we had across the country and even abroad. I remember even a visit to Singapore where we went together. A courageous man, humanitarian, and very, very committed in uplifting others. Rest in peace, Chairman, until we meet again.
Kangogo Bowen.
Mr. Speaker, let me join my colleagues to mourn the Honorable Ngeno, and on behalf of the people of Marakwet East, Honorable Speaker, which the Honorable Ngeno came when we had a landslide tragedy almost 3 months ago, Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as a country and as a house, we have lost a great man. And as a Kalenjin nation, we have lost an hero and the finest leader, Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Ngeno, we joined together in 2013, together with the Honorable Ichungwa and Pokose and many of us here. And since then, Mr. Speaker, we have been close with the Honorable Ngeno. Honorable Ngeno is a true leader, Honorable Speaker, who fought for his people. The constituency of Emurua Digir is synonymous to Honorable Ngeno, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the only thing we can say at this moment is to pray for the family of the young family of our friend, our colleague, the Honorable Ngeno, Mr. Speaker, and also, Mr. Speaker, to ask the government at this moment, because Honorable Ngeno has been fighting for the people of Emurua Digir, the land issues there, Honorable Speaker, that they handle it very, very carefully so that his people can benefit even at a time when he's not there. Mr. Speaker, as a house and even as a leadership of the Liaison, Honorable Speaker, we worked closely with the Honorable Ngeno, and he was a real debater, Mr. Speaker. At this point, Mr. Speaker, we just want to wish the family well, and may his soul rest in peace.
Pasares.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to stand with my colleagues in mourning the passing of our chair for the Housing Committee, Johanna Ngeno. I stand here and I remember his wife, Nalia, and the 3 children that he leaves behind, 2 very young daughters. She's a young wife and now widowed. What can I say about Johanna Ngeno? He was a man with a short temper, but the next day, you wouldn't even think you had a quarrel the day before. He was a man that brought the committee together, and I pray and hope that since he was the first chair for the Housing Committee, and housing being such a big agenda for the government, that we would have a few estates in this country that will be named Johanna Ngeno Estates, because he really pushed every button to make sure that us as a committee would work tirelessly to ensure that we put the necessary laws in place. We had the public participation. We oversight the projects. We went across the entire country with him, looking at projects and demanding the highest quality and the highest deliverables. So for me, I stand here and I say on behalf of myself, my family, and the great people of Nairobi, we mourn a great leader, and we stand with the family in prayer, and we will be there to support the family, because that's what good people do for each other. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. On my behalf, my family, and the people, the great people of Belgo that I represent, let me also take this opportunity
to eulogize my friend Johanna Ngeno. Like has been said, myself and Honorable Sudi were his best man as he solemnized his marriage with his widowed wife now. And Johanna Ngeno is a man of many fronts. Johanna Ngeno was a fierce defender of the Kipsigis people in Narok, fierce defender of the people, the Kipsigis people living in Mau, fierce defender, bold defender of the people who lived in Muruadigir and Angata Baragoi. And in the injustices of land was his driving and burning motto to make sure that the people of the Kalenjin community, wherever they were, justice was delivered to them. Honorable Ngeno will be missed dearly by the artists of this nation, particularly those ones that come from our backyard, the Kalenjin artists, where every year he has had a function for them, and I'm sure they will definitely miss him. Many people will miss Johanna Ngeno. They will miss his infectious laughter. They will miss his boldness. They will miss his confrontational politics. Like Honorable Hilary did say, that he took over from my late father-in-law, Honorable Kipkaila Kones. Let me just say, in short, fare thee well, my friend, till the trumpet of the Lord shall sound, and time shall be no more.
Dr. Mwiti. Give him the
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Let me join my colleagues in heroizing Honorable Ngeno. I've known Ngeno for quite some time. For the last 3 years, I've been in this house, mainly because we share, or we have been sharing the same floor. The late Ngeno was in room 2213, and I've been 2218. We have been sharing the lift quite often, and we could visit one another. I recognize Ngeno for the fearless and commitment he had for his people. In most cases, we have seen him fighting or negotiating for the land of his people. We shall miss Ngeno. God bless Honorable Ngeno on internal peace. Thank you.
CNN.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me join the voices of my condolences, of my colleagues for actually condoling with our friends who we have lost as the House. Mr. Ngeno, as you recall, and even you have heard, he was a friend to many people. He has visited my constituency, and nobody actually was aware. And this is a guy, or rather a good member of parliament, who used to fight for the rights of his people. I recall last week when I was with him in the gym, actually, he used to be very keen in terms of issues of health matters. We were just laughing and arranging how we are going to have an elections in 2027, how we are going to collaborate so that we can see majority of us coming back to parliament. And Mr. Speaker, Ngeno was a friend to many. He was a humble man. He used to love everybody, and we will dearly miss him. On behalf of the people of Mwingi West and on behalf of the people of Kitui County, let me join my colleagues and just send the message of condolences to his family. And more important, to the young wife and the children who have been left feeling lonely, but we will pray to God that he is going to comfort them and give them fortitude to bear this loss. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Rest in eternal peace.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I also rise to join the rest of the House in paying my condolences to the families and the friends of the 6 Kenyans who lost their life in the tragic helicopter crash. And Honorable Speaker, of the 6 Kenyans who lost their life, 5 of them were known to me, including the Carlos Mwelimu, who was a personal friend to me. And Honorable Speaker, and even the way much has been said about him, very seasoned pilot, and we had lost a great man. Honorable Speaker, on the part of Ngeno, Honorable Ngeno is a man that has been said, and I think majority have said about that, is known to be a courageous man. A man who actually is a go-getter. Honorable Ngeno will stop at nothing to get what he wants. And besides that attributes, Honorable Speaker, is a man who also believes in social justice, he believes in fairness, he believes in equity. Honorable Speaker, the motto of this House, which is for the welfare of the society and the just government of the people, is really, I think, means much to Honorable Ngeno. And I think that has been evidence to what he has been doing, not just in Narok County, but across the country. Honorable Speaker, Mheshimiwa Ngeno, despite coming from Narok, which is my neighboring constituency, we share a lot. And as I've been actually known, he used to sit next to me. We actually used to be deskmate. That's why even I had to call his deputy, his vice chair, at least to warm the seat. And despite that, we have a lot of political differences in Narok, Honorable Speaker. You cannot tell that. We used to be best of friends. So, Honorable Speaker, I want to say that we have lost a great leader. We have lost the defender of the people. We have lost actually.
Time up, Jen Kiara.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this chance to eulogize my friend, our colleague, who we shared a lot, though we never saw us together mostly. But I also want to sympathize with the young widow and her children, because the journey is long. I pray that God will give her the grace and comfort and strength to bear this huge loss. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Ngeno was known to fight for his people. The clips that have been going around, you could see he would go bare hand to chase policemen who went to kill his people. This is what we have known him for. Mr. Speaker, I agree we should not politicize. But, Mr. Speaker, I wonder the majority leader or the former deputy president who has done politics. Because he just said what he knows him and what he was to him. So Koli telling us time and again that he's a black man with a black heart, he's actually politicizing. And Honorable Rigathi Gachagua was impeached. Can the majority leader just let him be? I think it's not necessary. We are mourning a great man. We are mourning somebody who has really lost, who has left a young family, like he said. He got married at an advanced age. So may God rest his soul in eternal peace.
Bashir. Major Bashir.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, on my own behalf and on behalf of the people of Mandera North, I want to join my colleagues in condoling with the family, relatives and friends of our late colleague, Honorable Ngeno. Honorable Ngeno, as I said, he was a great gentleman, a man who was very, very courageous, fighting for the rights of his people. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Ngeno was also a member of the Pastoralist Parliamentary Group, and we worked with him very closely in that caucus. And I want to express my deep condolences to the family. And I wish them all the best as they overcome this emotional grief. And I say, poleni sana na mutulia kabisa. Asanteni sana.
Mandazi.
Yeah, thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. Allow me pass my own condolences on my own behalf and on behalf of the people of Chepalungu constituency for the demise of Honorable Ngong, commonly known by his people as Chebombumbu, Honorable Speaker. By his close allies, he is known as Chumindet. His people have lost him. Speaker, Chepalungu constituency and Emurua Dikir constituencies are neighbors. We have cross-cutting issues, cross-cutting challenges. Honorable Speaker, when I was elected to this House, Honorable Ngong has continuously held my hand. I've lost him as a friend, I've lost him as a colleague. He loved the local artist. He loved his people. He loved his family, the young family that is left. We pray to God that he keeps them well. Honorable Speaker, Ngong can be described by so many words. He was a very brave person. He was so courageous. He stood by his words. His no was a no. His yes was a firm yes. At the time when the people of Angata Baragoi wanted someone to lean on, Honorable Ngeno was always there for them. I was there yesterday, and the people spoke bitterly of the loss of their leader. They told us as leadership that we have lost a person who was our title deed, and we call upon the Ministry of Lands that the issues that were raised by Honorable Ngeno should be handled so that the people of Emurua Dikir.
Time up, Kimani Molo.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika kwa muda huu. Kwa niaba yangu na kwa niaba ya wananchi wetu wa eneo bunge la Molo, hasa wananchi wetu wa eneo la Kapsinendet, eneo la Mariashoni, eneo la Saptet, eneo la Sachangwan, wananchi ambao walimwenzi sana Mheshimiwa Ngong, ya kwamba tunaleta pole zetu kwa familia yake, kwa mke wake, kwa watoto wake na kwa jamii yote ya eneo bunge la Emurua Dikir. Mheshimiwa Spika, nakumbuka tuliweza kufanya kazi vizuri sana na Mheshimiwa Ngeno wakati tulikuwa tunaunga sheria ile ya housing, ya kazi wa nyumba, Mheshimiwa Spika, na tuliweza kufanya kazi nzuri sana. Wakati mwingi tuliweza kukosana na wale wa executive kwa sababu maneno mengi, kuna mambo ambayo tuliona kuwa hayafai, Mheshimiwa Spika, na tuliweza kuhakikisha kwamba tuliweza kuwasilisha katika bunge hii ripoti ambayo imeweza kuwezesha ile mpango wa ujengaji wa nyumba za bei nafuu katika nchi yetu ya Kenya. Ningetaka pia kuleta pole zangu kwa familia ya Rubani Were. Rubani Were pia mimi ashawahi kunibeba kama mwezi mmoja uliopita, na pia pole kwa wandani wake wengine ambao waliweza kufariki katika hiyo ajali ya ndege. Mheshimiwa Spika, kwa sisi wote viongozi ni kumbusho kwetu ya kwamba sisi wote tuko katika safari, hatujui muda wala wakati. Ile jambo la maana ni kukumbuka, kujiuliza, je, tutakumbukwa kwa yepi? Ya kwamba ikiwa wale ambao watakuja kuongea baada ya sisi wataweza kuongea mazuri kama vile tunaweza kuongea mazuri ya huyu mwenyekiti wa housing Mheshimiwa Ngong. May his soul rest in peace. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Speaker.
Maungu.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Speaker. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, on my own behalf, that of my family and the great people of Rwanda constituency, allow me to join my colleagues in saying a great pole following the demise of our colleague Honorable Ngeno and the friends who traveled with him, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the late Ngeno was such a great leader. One of the things I always admired about the late Ngeno was his boldness, and he was a very, very brave man. Many of the times he came out to speak for his people and always demonstrate a degree of boldness and being brave, Mr. Speaker. Therefore, the people of Emurua Dikir, Mr. Speaker, have lost a leader who actually championed for their rights. The late Ngeno was also known to be a leader who actually cultivated or encouraged the talent that came along with young people, Mr. Speaker. Many of the times I saw him host teams or support teams, especially the natives, the Kalenjin upcoming museum, Mr. Speaker. I saw him actually bring them together and support them in their venture, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, as we mourn this great leader, he was a leader who was warm and a man of great heart, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in my interaction with him, at one time, I remember he was too tough on the police who actually were kind of harassing his people. And from then, I kept calling him the arresting officer, Mr. Speaker. And we had such a great interaction with him, and I therefore say that may Johanna Ngeno rest in eternal peace. Asante sana.
Rindikiri.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I stand here to mourn my boss, my chairman, and my very close friend of mine, the late Honorable Ngeno. Mr. Speaker, we were joined by being my boss as his assistants. And I've worked with a man who had difficulty at the beginning, but I came to realize that is one of the great leaders we have in this parliament. Mr. Speaker, Ngeno was not a motivator, but also somebody to emulate in terms of leadership and championing the cause of success. Mr. Speaker, this is a man who does not give up. Consistently, whenever we had challenges in the committee, we saw a man behaving like a leader, a father, and a mentor. Mr. Speaker, we are aware that we do not have terms of reference for our committee because fair housing was a new concept. But through his wise leadership, through consultation and humility, we were able to develop our terms of reference that has made it become very successful as a committee. Mr. Speaker, this man is a father. I have seen this man in his house. I've seen this man as a community leader. I've seen this man as a churchman. Many people do not know that. We have lost a great man. We have lost other very strong people, particularly Captain Wele, who is known almost by everybody in this country. I eulogize them and say, may Almighty God stand with the young.
Mwalimu Kombe.
Asante Mheshimiwa Spika kwa kunipatia nafasi hii ili niweze nami kutoa rambirambi zangu na za jamii yangu na jamii pana ya Magarini. Mheshimiwa Ngeno, binafsi nitamkumbuka kwa ushujaa wake wa kupigania haki za wananchi wake, hasa kwa upande wa mashamba. Alikuwa ni mtu wa kusimama kidete kuhakikisha kwamba watu wake hawadhulumiwi kirahisi. Alikuwa na ushujaa wa kuweza hata kuvurutana na polisi na hatimaye kuhakikisha kwamba watu wake hawahangaishwi. Hakika katika bunge hili tutamkosa kiongozi shujaa na kiongozi mpenda watu, kiongozi mpenda maendeleo. Niombe tu Mwenyezi Mungu mwingi wa rehema, yule aliyeweza kunishika mkono nilipoachwa na baba nikiwa mdogo, akaweze kuwashika mkono wale watoto wadogo walioachwa, na akampe nguvu na hekima mjane ili akaweze kuwainua vijana kwa njia njema. Roho yake Mwenyezi Mungu ailaze mahali pema peponi palipo na wema, na akaijalie kaburi yake kuwa bustani katika mabustani peponi. Asante Mheshimiwa.
Richard Yegon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity also, which I've gotten to eulogize our departed colleague. On that of my behalf, my family and the larger people of Bomet East, I would like to pass my sincere condolences to the family of the late Johanna Ngeno, who really has become a very inspirational to some of us who are the new members in this house. Mr. Speaker, what I want to touch on, which has not been touched by the members of this house, is that we would like to request to put some serious legislation in regards to flying these aircrafts
which have really taken the lives of so many people, including the late Saitoti, the late Kipkalia Kones, Lona Laposo, and now our colleague, Joanna Ngeno. We need to know and maybe to make serious laws touching on the civil aviation to make sure that the members, the pilots who are piloting these aircrafts should stick to the laws which allows them not to fly in extreme weather situations like the one which was witnessed during last weekend when our colleague was being flown on a chopper. The weather was so bad, and I think the pilot, I'm not going to preempt this because I think we are going to leave to investigative arms to look into it, that we need to have them make decisive decision and avoid flying the aircraft in very bad weather. So, Mr. Speaker, let me sincerely pass my deepest condolence to the family of the members of Emurua Digil, including
Lisa Chelule.
Thank you. Asante sana.
Lisa Chelule.
Hey, yangu memuka.
I believe you are not Lisa Chelule.
Asante sana Bwana Spika kwa kunipatia
Mheshimiwa
nafasi
Moroto,
huu.
nitakupa nafasi lakini wewe si Lisa Chelule.
Asante Bwana Spika kwa kunipatia hii nafasi. Pia mimi niseme risala zangu za kwangu na za kaunti ya Nakuru kwa wakati huu ambaye tunaomboleza ndugu yetu Mheshimiwa Honorable Johanna Ngeno. Bwana Spika, pia nakupatia pole sababu umepoteza mmoja yetu na wajumbe wote. Nataka tu kusema maneno machache kuhusu huyu kiongozi. Huyu kiongozi ni kiongozi mmoja ambaye ameleta watu wote katika nchi yetu pamoja. Ninaposema hivi Bwana Spika, unakumbuka akienda kutembea katika makaunti zote, alikuwa amefika kiwango ya kupita nusu ya idadi ya counties yetu katika nchi yetu, akitembea kusaidia vijana ambaye wanajihusisha na mambo ya uimbaji. Nataka kuchukua hii nafasi kusema hakuna kiongozi ambaye ameajibika katika kazi yake, ameajibika katika constituency yake ya Emurua Digir. Huyu kiongozi hakuna mwingine ninaweza kumfananisha na kitu ya maana ambaye alisema akienda, ambaye alisema hivi juzi karibu, akasema sisi kama wananchi wa Kenya tutekeleze kazi yetu kikamilifu, tutekeleze kazi yetu kiwango ambaye wananchi wa Kenya watafurahia, na akasema tuweke amani katika nchi yetu ya Kenya. Kwa hivyo nachukua hii nafasi kusema kwa wananchi wa Emurua Digir kwamba wakae chonjo, wapokee wageni wa Johanna Ngeno wakati wa Ijumaa, wakati itakapofanyika mambo ya mazishi yake. Mungu aweke roho yake.
Moroto, now you can legitimately speak.
Asante sana Bwana Spika kwa kunipa nafasi. Mheshimiwa Ngeno ambaye tunaongea juu yake ni mtu ambaye amesaidia vijana wengi sana, especially West Pokot, Mount Elgon mpaka Uganda. Hakuwa na mpaka kwa sababu ya vijana. Na hata vile tulivyo hapa saizi Makutano town, vijana wamesanyika kutoka Uganda, kutoka Trans Nzoia kuweka ile kuchoma ile majumaa kwa sababu ya heshima yake, na watakuja wote pande hii. Ni sisi kama viongozi tuone kwamba kazi ambayo Ngeno alifanya tuendelee kushikilia. Hata alipozunguka huko kuna shule ambayo ni ya wasichana secondary school, alisema isaidiwe na alikuwa na process hiyo shule ijengwe. Kwa hivyo nafikiri kwa sababu kuna komiti hao hapa na Faisia, wewe sasa shikilia hiyo mpaka hiyo shule ya West Pokot ifanyike. Hata wewe umesema kwamba Mungu namlaze malipema peponi. Asante.
Koyo. Onyango Koyo.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for remembering me at last. Honorable Speaker, I want to join my colleagues in sending my condolences, those of myself, my family, and the people of Moroni that I represent in this house during this very sad, and Nyando, because Nyando is part of Moroni. And during this very difficult time for the people of Muradikir, we joined the parliament, the 13th parliament, with the late Honorable Ngeno, together with the majority leader and a few people here. And Joanna Ngeno and I shared one thing. We are people who believe in people first. Then party leadership and other bureaucrats can come later. As a result, we became very close. We became very close and we are consulting each other. Our difficulty is pronouncing the name of his constituency. So each time I saw him, I called him Dick. And he ably responded and said, I know how is Moroni, how is Muradikir. The people of Muradikir, we lose a very serious leader that, according to my experience, this was in Kalenjin land, a serious leader after Kipkalia Kones and the late Jean Marie Soronei. He valued his people and did everything to protect the dignity and prosperity of his people. And as a friend, I was courting him to come and talk to those young musicians with talents in Moroni, and he was planning to come and talk to them, and really miss this facility. May God rest his soul in eternal peace.
Justice Kamei.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the
Honorable,
opportunity.
before you proceed, we have 15 minutes to go. Can I cut it to 1 minute so that everybody speaks? Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity.
You're a leader, I'll give you two, but Justice Kamei and the rest take 1 minute each so that everybody can have an opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity you've given me to join my colleagues in mourning the passing on of the late Joanna Ngeno. Mr. Speaker, I'll be very brief. Joanna Ngeno, we joined Parliament together in 2013. He remained close to me, and I remember him for visiting the constituency to do a project
at Kipsamoi. In his community, if people delay in getting married,
they are taken to a place called Kipsamoi. So when I took him to Kipsamoi Secondary School, it came to pass that he got married about 1 year later. Mr. Speaker, he also joined me and my family in the funeral of my father, and they made a very generous contribution. I'll always thank him for that, and may God bless him and bless his family, and may his soul find favor with the Lord. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Taitumu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity so that I can tender my own condolences and the condolences of the people of Igembe North to the people of Wemuru and Dikiri, and particularly the entire Ngenos. Honorable Ngeno was a true servant of humanity. He was a role model, an icon, and a person who believed in what he stood for. Honorable Ngeno was a true crusader, particularly for the downtrodden. He served people within dedication, passion, and not only the people of Emuru and Dikiri, but the entire country.
Rachel Nyamai.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika kwa kunipatia fursa hii kuzungumza pole ya Mheshimiwa ambaye ametuaga, Mheshimiwa Ngeno, ambaye tulikuja naye bunge mwaka wa 2013. Ningependa kusema ya kwamba pole kwa familia yake, pole kwa bibi yake ambaye amebaki na watoto wadogo ambaye tumemuona na tukampatia nguvu. Pia huyu ni Mheshimiwa Spika ambaye